Now, away from politics, CEO of non-profits, the Leihai Foundation, Mariama Isa Adam, has called on civil society organizations to support entities like hers to provide support for the vulnerable in society. She was speaking at the launch of the organization here in Accra.
Addressing the media at the launch, CEO of Leihai Foundation, Mariama Isa Adam, recounted some of its key achievements from its inception in 2019 for delivering its mandate as an agent for providing free healthcare and education to the needy in society. She emphasized the relevance of the role of civil society in achieving this by supporting a foundation to be able to continue to deliver to the nation at large. And she held the effort of all whose contribution had brought the Leihai Foundation that far.
Inspire Leihai Foundation, in fact, I can't even say all, but the unique thing about Leihai Foundation is we are not only into soliciting funds for the orphan, vulnerable, widows, aged and disabled, but we are also looking into the health challenges of these vulnerables. Not only the vulnerables, but also to well-to-do people. If I say well-to-do people, there are people who are, physically, fit, financially fit, but when it comes to health, they lack health education. Because there are instances I've come across, I realized that something like diabetes, which its education could have saved a life. Somebody will be there without knowing he or she has it, that sugar is high, and then will be doing other things contrary to what he or she has. So I think we doing, health awareness, doing free screening is going to benefit them as well.
Coordinator for the Leihai Foundation, Frank Mensah, also stated that the foundation has already started educating the adolescents on how to observe healthy lifestyle and ensure they are also in good health conditions.
One here, especially the moment you get to a certain age where you start to develop your features, I guess as a woman, you start to develop your features that will help you to be sexually active and then to produce an offspring or a baby. That is where, if you are not careful, we have a lot of teenage pregnancies in our society. We have two children in society. Sometimes, even those who say they are educated, sometimes even get pregnant without planning. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me? Good. So the moment you get pregnant without planning, as a woman, I believe a lot of you here are mothers. Sometimes you know the kind of unstable mind that you have.
Some invited guests at the event spoke to TV Africa News, and this is what they had to say.
Yeah, I think the reproductive health among the teenage, it is something we have to pay attention to very well, because these teenagers, they are our future leaders, and I have not seen, maybe I'm yet to see any parents who doesn't want the good for their child, because we all want good for our children. And also these children, they are also like us, like the same way when we are in a little bit trouble, we try to talk to others, and we have people we say are best friends, and anytime they tell us to do something, we do it. We do it without even looking back. Sometimes we know the thin line, but we try to do it just because the advice is coming from them. So these younger ones have the same people they call friends, and when they are in troubles, they talk to these people. And don't forget that the advice these people give them is what they go with it.
My expectations were met. I wanted Paulina to dissect on the topic about adolescent reproductive health, contraceptive use, because nowadays, like, a lot of people feel when you tell their child that it's bad and then you are spoiling them. But I really think curiosity kills the cat, and then adolescents, they are curious. You don't give them the information that they need, they'll end up wanting to look for it, and then it will cause a whole lot of problems. So it is true, parents should get closer to their children and educate them.
Let's get back to some politics. A pro-New Patriotic Party pressure group, Power Brokers, has been briefing the media on what they say led to the abysmal performance of the party in the 2020 parliamentary election. The group identified the lack of respect and appreciation for grassroots supporters by government appointees and parliamentarians as factors that led to the NPP's poor performance in the parliamentary polls. The NPP in the 2020 general elections lost a lot of seats in parliament. The NPP power brokers have done a thorough post-mortem on the undesirable performance of the party in the parliamentary elections, and according to them, one reason for their abysmal performance is due to the imposition of candidates in some constituencies like Akwatia and Famina, amongst others.
Deeply concerned about the party's narrow escape in the 2020 parliamentary elections. This is a matter of extreme emergency that must be addressed with the swiftness it deserves. We have done a thorough postmortem on the undesirable performance of the party in the parliamentary elections. The said postmortem indicates one, the party lost in many of the constituencies because of our failure to allow due process to guide the election of popular candidates at the parliamentary primaries. Some of the people who met as candidates for the NPP did so because they had godfathers, friends, and in some cases, families, either in government or party leadership, who skewed processes and schemed to get them selected as candidates. We are saying we are not going to take this nonsense anymore.
The group further stated that the lack of respect and appreciation for grassroots supporters by government appointees and parliamentarians also led to the narrow escape in the just ended elections.
Lack of respect and appreciation for grassroots supporters by government appointees and parliamentary candidates. If I should say some parliamentary candidates and some government appointees. Some parliamentary candidates and many appointees forgot that they were appointed to serve in their respective positions to realize the agenda of government, the agenda of the government of Nanado. These appointees failed to see that they occupied their positions at the pleasure of the ordinary Ghanaian. The results of the election clearly show